All right, let's do some figuring here. This is just the amplitude of the graph that we have here. So the amplitude is 4.5, right? So 4.5 meters per second. Okay, what's our period? Well, let's see. We go through a complete cycle in, is that 2.5 seconds? Come through 2 complete cycles in 5 seconds. So I'm going to say 2.5 seconds. Right, and then what is our x naught? Well, this takes like higher, algebra, right? Well, the maximum velocity is related to x naught this way, right? Omega times x naught. Okay, so, and by the way you figure that out is this. Just take a look, right? The velocity, this thing right out here in front of the cos has got to be the maximum velocity. So omega x naught is our maximum. Okay. Okay, so this is 4.5. And then we got to figure out what omega is times x naught, right? So omega is 2 pi over t. T is 2.5, so that's 2 pi over 2.5, which is 4 pi over 5. Did I get that right? I think I did, yeah. So that'll be our omega, right? So I'm going to put that in here, 4 pi over 5, okay? So now we got to figure out what x naught is, right? X naught is, let's see, 5 times over 4 pi. You got to divide, right? It's going to be this guy divided by this, right? So what I did was I multiplied this by the reciprocal of that, right? Okay, so I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by 2 to make it pretty. Okay, so 2 times, that's 45, right? I don't need a calculator. 2 times 5 is 10, times 4.5 is 45. 45 over 8 pi. I don't think that can be simplified. Okay, so that is our maximum x, right? Okay, so this guy is 45 over 8 pi. Hopefully you already know how to do this, because this is not, I didn't pay attention to this. And no, there's a typo right here. This is not velocity, this is position. Position, all right. All right, let's see, write an equation for its velocity. Okay, so we can do this. This looks like a sine wave, right? So v is going to be the maximum velocity, which is 4.5. Positive, right? That's meters per second. Sine. And then omega is 4 pi over 5 times t. All right. I think we've got that. I think we've nailed that. So that's going to be a v naught sine omega t. Okay, now we got to write an equation for the position. This will be our x naught, right? So if the velocity is a sine, the question is, what is the x? Okay, so look in your data packet, and if the velocity is a sine, well, the velocity, we know that if the velocity is negative sine, then x is positive cosine. So therefore, if the velocity is positive sine, x must be negative cosine, okay? Negative x naught cosine omega t. Okay, so x is going to be negative x naught cos omega t. That's our general form. Okay, so again, if you go in here, right, we know that if our v is sine omega t, right, as the general form of it. And all we know from the data packet is if it's negative sine, then this is positive cos. So if this guy is positive sine, this guy is negative cos. Okay, that's where that came from. Okay, so x is going to be the opposite of this guy. Cos, and then our omega is still 4 pi over 5 times t. Yeah, did we get that right? I think we did. Negative x naught cos omega t. All right. This dog's going to hunt. Okay,